Namaskara Vikshakre, Pranam Sathiyo and hello fellow sapiens, you are watching Mo Traveler Akshay from this side of the video. Before we dive deep into the topic of this video, let's have a background check. Long ago, when I was a young enthusiast in the making, I used to aspire for 4 vehicles. 1. The Yamaha RX 100. Okay, let me know if there was anybody from my generation who didn't aspire for it. 2. The Suzuki Shogun. 3. The Hero Honda CBZ. The first model mind you, and last but not the least, the OG Safari. It was later that I shifted my vision towards the Thar. And before you ask me, I said vehicles, not cars specifically, and hence the 3 two-wheelers in my list. The first new car assessment program, that is NCAP, was established between 1978 and 1979 in the United States. In 2014, Global NCAP released the first ever crash test results of 5 popular compact cars sold in Indian market. Who in India knew about the NCAP ratings back in the 1990s or even in the early 2000s? But everybody who knew the OG Safari would say कि boss ये तगड़ा गाड़ी है. Rewinding myself to these old ads of the OG Safari makes me feel nostalgic. Though the current version of the Safari is just a badge on its body if I consider comparing it to the OG Safari, but wait, I know you enthusiasts would point out that there is no comparison between the current day Safari and the OG Safari. I agree, I just meant the same cause I repeat what I stated earlier, that it's just a badge on today's Safari when compared to the OG Safari, and the comparison ends there. I remember my first team lead in my first company where I joined as a fresher owned a Safari, and I commuted on it a couple of times and I felt it was very comfortable during those times. And if you ask me my experience of traveling in such vehicles about 16 to 18 years ago, I'm sorry that I had no experience apart from traveling in old Bajaj Tempo Traxxas and Mahindra Commanders. Now, enough of my history. Let's fast forward to current day Safari. I'm test driving the latest model Safari and I have driven my friend's pre-facelift Safari, which is essentially the same except the steering mechanism, which is much better now. Of course, there are other differences like the features and the body design, say for example the front grille etc. But other than that, nothing much has changed. The current day Safari is of course totally different and is based on Land Rover's D8 platform shared by Range Rover Evoque and Discovery Sport, which obviously was not the case with the OG Safari. Yeah, I know I need to stop referring to my obsession, the OG Safari, as it is irrelevant here, but I couldn't help myself. I'll try. The Tata executive encouraged me to take the vehicle on a brutal road which is a short stretch in the interiors of Bangalore University. It had very deep ruts or potholes and the executive was like, "Sir, why are you going so slow? You want to know the true potential of the Safari? Just accelerate and test the comfort." That was the confidence he had and I followed his instruction obediently. Not my car anyways, right? Just kidding. But yes, it then occurred to me that it did have the Land Rover DNA when it glided through the giant potholes. In comparison to the OG Safari, sorry, a slight correction, let me restart. In comparison to the XUV700 though, the XUV700 feels more punchy in my experience, more so in the petrol I have to mention, and the cabin seems a bit more premium with continuous dual screens and whatnot. The Safari gradually picks up and not as punchy as the XUV700. The power assisted steering in the Safari now is super smooth, has enhanced level 2 ADAS, the touch interface on the screen seemed decent. I'm not an audiophile and the audio seems to be very good for normal usage. But yes, I am an audiophile when it comes to the engine sound, the turbo whistle and the other clatters, especially a diesel. So you can count on me there. Well, to conclude, though I have not touched all the topics, this is what I could experience in the latest model Safari on the test drive. I'm sorry, but I need to mention the OG Safari once again. Anybody who feels the same as me for the OG Safari, raise your hands in the comment section below and raise your thumbs on the like button. Do share and consider subscribing so that I know if you guys like such content. Thank you. And wait, this video was about the present day Safari and not the OG Safari. I would like to clarify that. Haha, well, thanks again.